Welcome to the Old Horseshoe on the banks of the Olentangy, home of the Ohio State Buckeyes and one of the great settings in all of college football. With the scarlet and gray already rocking this house. A top 25 showdown coming up. Two of college football's premier teams preparing to duke it out right here on this field. As we'll see the number 23 team in the country, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, taking on the 7th-ranked team in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth, as always, by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's tee this one up. Notre Dame lining up to kick off and get this one started. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Down for the offense. Defense showing plenty of pre-snap movement of their own. At the 35, he's got room. And the defense finally makes the stop after the sweet run and good gain. As they unpack the pile, it's part of Ohio State's DNA to have a lethal running game.
And this is a trend, Reese. We can go back as long as you want to go back, and we can go back a couple years to J.K. Dobbins, and we can go all the way back to Eddie George. They always find great running backs at Ohio State.
Might as well give it to him again. Love seeing these early season top 25 matchups. You can get a really good feel of how good these teams are, guys.
And the intensity is going to be big too, David, because the players, you know, on these teams, they've been thinking about this game for a long time. They knew they'd have a national stage, and they got a chance to prove just how good they are.
Oh, man, make that statement. Make that early statement. We always look at the end of the season, and what does the committee say? Oh, they beat top 25 so-and-so. Here's your chance to put that on your resume that'll pay off big time in late in the season.
On second down, they'll take to the air. It's caught. And they pick up just a few on that completion. Well, he comes up with the reception, but not a lot of room to run after that.
Yeah, and I like the QB doing this. I mean, I'm going to find ways to give him the football and see if he can make a miss. And I'm going to bet most of the time that my guy is a little bit more athletic than that defensive guy. Defense won this battle, but I like trying to get this guy the ball in space.
Third and short from the 44, and we might know if they plan to go for it on fourth down by what they call here. And how about that alertness and that swarming D to keep him from getting the first down? They told us they were going to be aggressive no matter where they were on the field. Didn't take long to prove it. Going for it on fourth down in their first drive. Finds him out of the backfield. Open space at the 25. Touchdown, Buckeyes! A great catch and run for 6.
And that is what a team of this caliber is expected to do, right? They've got the better number beside their name by all the metrics, by a talent standpoint, coaching standpoint. They're the superior team, and they just drove the ball in the first possession of the game, and they looked like it, scoring a touchdown and asserting their dominance.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. From inside the 10, here he comes. Solid return, decent field position as he goes out of bounds at the 30. This crowd, full throat, sweating the eardrums and letting him know it's going to be a long day. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. One of of the offshoots of expansion, particularly in the Big Ten, was how viable could the ACC remain, and it just sort of ramps up the stakes when they meet on the field.
Yeah, I think all of this conference realignment, all the money talk, the loss of rivalries, but it's the haves and the have-nots. And let's be honest, the SEC and the Big Ten are the big two gorillas, right? Anytime you can make a statement and dent these two big powerhouse conferences, go do it.
I think the ACC, too, is going to play with a chip on his shoulder. Back in conference realignment, it was the best 4 programs from the Pac-12 that all chose the Big Ten and not the ACC, so this one will be interesting.
On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. Looking for more room. And with the interception, he'll take it all the way back. Touchdown, Ohio State. What a play by this defense with the pick 6.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, we turn to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
They'll kick it off and send that defense right back out there to try to score again after the pick 6. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Here come the Irish back on offense. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
Touch pass on the jet sweep. He breaks a tackle. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
The first thing you have to do to make these plays successful offensively is I have to block the edge. I got to get my speedster in space. They didn't do a good job of getting that guy out there in space where he could really use his jets. Nice job by the defense understanding it, seeing it, rallying to it, and tackling that guy front legs.
On 3rd down, going up top. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Taking it the other way. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 8. Oh, you know he wanted that pick 6, but the offense is in business.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
They'll keep it on the ground for 1st and goal. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Buckeyes! No step back in week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead. The offense did exactly what it needed to do, getting the ball in field position like that.
It's that killer mentality. You step on their throat, you keep your foot down. When you get opportunities like that, they are golden chances to put touchdowns on the board. The offense took care of business.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. And the return man showing great vision to be able to find some space and put his team in much better field position. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it, right? If you're going to be a great player, you got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Leaves it with the running back. Just working and poking and prodding and finding his way up to the 36.
And as an offense, having success on a run play like that early in the game just opens up all the possibilities of your playbook moving forward. Play action, running the ball, throwing the ball, screens, anything is at your disposal at this point.
A couple of yards short of the 1st down in your own territory, but they are going to go for it on 4th. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on down.
Aggressive. You want to be aggressive. You want to take chances, and you tell your team about it all week. And you come out, you get an opportunity in the first half to go for it on fourth down. You shot your shot. The problem is now you put your defense in a bad situation early in this game where you're going to have to try to find a way to get a stop and create some momentum.
And after a successful run like that on first down, if you're the offensive coordinator here, maybe you're thinking about being aggressive and potentially taking a shot, because even if it's incomplete now on second, you only have a short amount of yards to go here on third.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. He's looking to throw. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. Down to the 26-yard line where the tackle is made. Pick up a 5 and a first down.
Sometimes these guys just have eyes in the back of their head. You saw it right there. He was able to buy himself time, get outside the pocket, and at that point, I think the decision was pretty easy. Hey, I can go get this with my feet. He was able to do that. Now they got a fresh set of downs.
Keeps the legs moving. They make the stop, and this running game moves the chains as they get the first down.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Ohio State 21, Notre Dame 0.
The Buckeyes come to the line with a new set of downs. He wants to throw. Gets rid of it. Zings it complete to the right. Touchdown, Ohio State! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, gets you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy, the connection between quarterback, wide receiver. You can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Here come the Irish, back on offense. What a turn that last drive was. Didn't pick up the 4th down, and it led to the scoring drive, David.
And those are frustrating because you think you might get points, and then your defense gives up points. This has got to be a complementary football-type deal. The offense now needs to provide a little spark and give this defense some hope.
No doubt, David. They got to turn the page, and they've got to play with a little bit more urgency here, knowing they've got to get that one back and put a good drive together.
Cross the 30 out to the 33, engage 4 on the play.
Offensive linemen love to run the power. Why? You run power. You run power. Then you can play action. You don't want that defense to be sitting there saying, it's a pass, having to pass block every play. You got to keep defenses off balance.
It'll be 3rd and short from their own 33. They'll keep this drive moving by picking up the first down. They have it at the 36.
And I just love when guys know exactly where the sticks are. You could tell ran with purpose, finished through the sticks, and got just enough for the first down.
And a nice job up front, too, right? Good communication. Everybody knew where they had to go.
And there was nowhere to go for this quarterback, and down he goes. Notre Dame lines up quickly.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and that can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play action.
Listen, in these situations, it's so hard to push the ball down the field because the defense is playing pass. We bring in more DBs. We're dropping deeper in our.
And here's the 3rd interception of the night. Got room on the return. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And this defense coming up with points of their own. What an interception return. Look, I know it's only the 2nd quarter, but we're starting to see a pretty significant gap develop between these two teams right now.
No doubt. When your defense is scoring, your offense is scoring, good things happening for your ball club. This defense on point, reading their scouting report, making big plays.
They're about to kick it away, and the defense probably can't wait to get back out there after the pick 6. And the ball will make it into the end zone. No return on that one for a touchback. ready to get moving. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterback.
Pulls it in on the left. And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end.
And that's a first down for the offense.
Looking to go up top on first down. Can hang on, and he'll tell you he really should have made that catch, and he had an opportunity right in the middle. It'll be second down. Offense in a bunch formation. And back to the air on second down. Oh, he's going to try to get it all here. And the pass is incomplete, but it might not matter. Flag is down, and it looked as if the defense was roughing up that receiver. 3 yards, first down for the offense after that penalty. Looking to move it through the air. A shot toward the end zone. Makes the grab. Can White cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down. New set of downs right on the doorstep for this offense. Slams it ahead. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
So on offense, you've got to find a way to put 6 up on the board. You know that in this game, field goals may not get it done. So big-time players make big plays in big games. Who can you rely on right now to get you a touchdown?
Can the defense stop them again on second and goal?
It's now third and goal.
Third and goal coming up here. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Irish.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge. And also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Cool as a cucumber as the hands team makes a sure catch.
And you don't see a lot of these. You don't see a lot of onside kicks earlier in the game, especially in the second quarter. You still feel each other out. You're still getting into the game. You don't want to give away that momentum, but that's exactly what they did by failing on that onside kick.
They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Buys a little time. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
These receivers on these scramble drills are going to have to play with a little bit more urgency because this pass rush is getting after the QB. He was flushed out to the left and wasn't able to complete that throw because of the hit he took.
Second down here, and maybe they've got time to get one more snap off before the 2-minute warning. Hands it off. Really nice stop there from this senior leader. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and they will try to build on what has already been a dominant first-half performance. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. On third and long, try to convert through the air. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal.
I love it. The offense being aggressive. They're taking a shot. Good job by the QB getting a lot of air under that ball. And how about the receiver and his ability to track it?
This offense is about to face the one thing that can stop it. Touchdown, Ohio State! And they take it in for 6 more points. Precision blocking up front created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking in front.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Here come the Irish back on offense. Boy, they've been caught in a buzzsaw here in the first half, but maybe a chance to carry some momentum into the break here.
It all comes down to this drive right here, Reese. Obviously, this offense hasn't had everything go right for them in the first half, but here's an opportunity, David, to execute some plays, put some throws together, and generate some points.
And you're right, Jesse, and this offense needs to start now. Like, we got to get some points on the board, create some momentum, and continue it, because you've dug yourself a significant hurt.
I'll tell you, this defensive end, not only can he pass rush, but he can play the run as well. You see him beat the offensive lineman there trying to block him and get in the backfield to make that tackle for a lot.
And man, oh man, he is in the dark tonight. His 4th interception. And it's going to be a pick 6. Touchdown, Buckeyes. Look, a lot of time left. There's a little bit of distance right now being put on the score.
There is, but it's so awesome when you're a defense and you study all week about what's coming and what routes to be ready for, and then you jump the route and you make the plays and you just go get in that end zone. It is so beautiful.
They're lining up to kick it off after the pick 6, and that defense will come out feeling it. Staring into the raindrops, and what a terrible play. You just can't run back into the end zone like that, and it's going to be a safety. The kickoff team lined up. They'll have to give it back after giving up that safety. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up. These guys offensive.
Off he goes. He's at the 20. Touchdown, Ohio State. And once he found some daylight, it was time to make a house call.
And to have a rushing touchdown of that type of yardage, you've got to be able to make something miss. It's one thing to get into the second level, but can you make that last defender miss? And you saw it on that play. Once he was in the clear with his speed, he was gone.
That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Trying to get behind the defense. He's got it downfield for a huge gain. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down. New set of downs after that completion. Wants to throw on first down. Getting some heat. Hit as he throws. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. Back to work on 2nd and 10 from the 41 after that last incompletion. They'll run play action. Blasted as he lets it go. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble.
I think the biggest issue in the passing game for this offense has been accuracy, right? The last time this guy took the field, he completed less than 50% of his throws, and you're seeing that again in this game. Just hasn't been able to put the ball where he wants it to go.
On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And here's a fumble way behind the line. Oh, looks as if the defense got it. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
You know, oftentimes when you're playing in conditions like this and it's raining, you'll see a lot of the skill players offensively take off the gloves because they want to be able to feel the football. They think it gives them better control of it. I don't know if that played into the football going on the ground there, but you know that ball security is going to be one of the biggest factors in this game moving forward.
To the air on first down. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
Doesn't take this defense a lot of time to get to the quarterback, man. They've got speed all over the place. They hit him so quickly, and because of that, the ball falls incomplete.
This offense has a 2nd down play. They'll throw again after the incompletion. A shot toward the end zone. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
Well, the game plan's been pretty simple offensively, right? They are taking shots and they're being aggressive throwing it down the field. This guy's already got 2 touchdown passes. We're still in the first half. And on that last one, he was looking for number 3.
He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. 3rd and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
Right down the middle. Complete and looking for enough for the 1st down. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays.
Timeout, Ohio State.
One more play before the teams head to the locker rooms. He'll set up to throw. He makes a grab. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes. He'll try to tack on one more. And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they cap things off with a 9-yard touchdown pass. Oh, look at Mr. Hands taking the squibber inside the 30. They'll knock him down, and that'll take us to halftime. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update. And the Buckeyes will kick it away to crank up the 2nd half. And he hauls it in, and everybody's on the edge of their seats. And the returner will be dragged down.
And the Notre Dame offense will take over 1st and 10.
Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. What could go wrong did in the 1st half, and they start this 3rd quarter at the bottom of the mountain.
Man, that was bad. That was a frying pan to the head. That was a TKO. It was awful in the 1st half. Flush it. I got to start doing something right. I got to find some positives. I get the ball first to start this possession, try to put a scoring drive together.
And that is his 5th interception, a nightmare he is not waking up from. A return there would have just been icing on the cake. They'll just have to settle for the cake at the 23.
I'll tell you, you got to give the defense credit, though, because with these conditions, it's not easy to catch for the offensive players. Certainly not for the defense, but great eye-hand coordination securing that interception.
Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
They're strong and they're strong. Defensive tackles, they're strong. There's such big jokers in the middle where they just lock out those offensive linemen. And running backs, listen, they don't have much of a chance. When you got that 300-plus pound guy grabbing you around the shoulder pad, you tend to go to the ground pretty quickly.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Now the quarterback changing the original play call. Finds his big tight end. They make the stop, but the sweet throw and catch is plenty to give them a 1st down. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, Dave?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open, because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest.
The Buckeyes have it with a 1st and goal. And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12.
And you try to catch him off balance, maybe on 1st down and goal right here, a situation where maybe you sneak in a pass, defense was ready, got the sack. Now you got to be a little bit more creative now that you got the negative play. The offense, I know you've worked this all week. You got to get ready to execute in the red zone.
Brought down after a 5-yard gain down to the 7.
It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on 3rd down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win in contested situations here on 3rd down.
And he's able to shed one tackle, but still just a very short gain.
Well, with a huge lead, interesting decision. Are you going to try to pad it with a field goal, or do you want to stay aggressive, Dave?
And what's nice is you got this big lead, so it really doesn't matter whichever you choose, but you can grab the points or you can go to try to put this nail in the coffin.
4th and goal from the 5, and the offense is staying on the field. What a big moment here. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
And you could tell he trusted himself. He thought he could take off, get that first down. Just a little too much speed on that defense. They closed that gap so quick. Didn't let him get to the first down marker. Turnover on downs.
It's a nice game, but the big theme here is they just haven't been able to get the run game going in offense. They've been very one-dimensional. They're just not being physical enough at the point of attack.
Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Give to the running back. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And it's been a surprise today for this offense. Like, coming into the game, we all talked about it. We thought they'd be able to run against this defense that's been run on a lot, and this offense just can't get the running game going. Be interesting to see what they do to try to change it up, but somehow, some way, they need that physical ground game.
To the ground with the back. He's loose at the 15. They'll pick up the first down as he gets it out to the 27-yard line.
That is exactly what you want from your offense. Create some space, get out of the shadow of your own end zone, Palmer, and make it easier on this offense.
Yeah, it's nice when you have a running back like that, too.
And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
Oftentimes with play action, you're asking the quarterback to hold on to the ball a bit longer, and you're asking this offensive line to hold up and pass pro a bit longer. Against this athletic front 7 on defense, it's going to be tough.
It's a reverse. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. Notre Dame right back to the line. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. And it's another interception as his assault on the record book continues. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
What a game-changing play by this defense. Nice job. You got them backed up in their own territory coming out. Now you force the turnover, set your offense up with some great scoring field position.
They'll give it to the back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And I can't tell you how much I love seeing corners being willing to come up and tackle. That is so huge for a defense. You can't olay blocks and create space. You can't just hang out on the outside. You got to go set that edge.
And conversely, I can't tell you how much I hate it when receivers don't want to block. You got to do a better job on the perimeter. It's not going to be enough in this offense just to catch passes. You got to go execute your assignment. That corner should have been blocked, and they should have gotten a bigger gain on that outside run.
Turning to the running game on 1st and goal. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. Maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent of things they did right, things that they got to do more consistently moving forward.
65, Notre Dame, 7.
They'll try to open the quarter by cashing in on this big opportunity deep in the red zone. Wants to fire it in the end zone on 3rd and goal. Snags it. Touchdown, Ohio State. And the punishment has been extended. They push the lead out here in the 4th quarter and close to getting back on track and going 2-1. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Fellas, I think at least a portion of your audience will have an interest in the one that just finished up. Pittsburgh was able to come away with the victory, but it was not the type of dominant win we've seen in the Steel City over the years. A win, yes, but this one lacked style points. It's one game. You don't want to react too much either way, But I think both teams will leave this one with some things to work on moving forward.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. And wings it incomplete.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here lately.
Off the play fake. Can't connect on his first throw.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback and this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
And now such a tough situation. Late in this game, you're trailing, but now it's 4th and long. It's one thing if it's 4th and short. This makes it even more difficult. You got to have something dialed up you feel really great about.
On 4th down, looking for the completion. Complete out of the backfield, looking for the sticks. And they wrap him up, but not before he gets enough on the catch for the first down.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum, gain a little bit of confidence that they can keep coaching up heading into their next game.
They're going to throw it again. He lets one fly deep. Oh, did he toast the coverage? Got it deep downfield. Touchdown, Notre Dame! And once he got away from the D, they had no shot at catching it. And he did get that extra point through the slippery surface, no problem. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they finished things off with some flair, a 73-yard touchdown pass. Few anxious moments there, but the Hands team true to its name as they make the grab and get the ball. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Give to the back. A run up the middle is stuffed for no gain.
Great team defense on that one play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. He's looking for a man on 2nd down. Quickly complete. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
And that's the danger. When you got a receiver like that, if you blitz and you're playing man coverage, he's one-on-one, and he's going to burn you if you don't get home to the quarterback.
Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down.
And you want to dominate the football game like these guys have all day. Dominate the line of scrimmage. You know, turn and hand the ball off to your running back. It's a good recipe. It makes every quarterback better. It makes every OC better. Just turn, hand the football off, especially when you're winning the ball game.
They'll throw it on first down. Lets it fly deep downfield. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And the beatdown has ensued. That one puts them in really good shape to get back on the right track and get another W.
And this always is the debate of where you fall. It's your job to stop me or I should get concerned, because this offense obviously has had themselves a day. And apparently, their day's not over. They're going to continue to keep scoring, and the defense better do something about it.
He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return.
Notre Dame offense will take over. 1st and 10.
Here come the Irish back on offense. Trying to find his man on 1st down. Fires to the tight end. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Line getting set on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. He's going to fire deep. And the pass is incomplete, and there's a penalty flag down, and no big secret why. That receiver was being mauled by the defender. Boy, as a defense, you hate to just hand out 1st downs on a penalty. Running back goes in motion. They'll throw it on 1st down. Fires and picked off. Going the other way, and he's got room. And he's going to score on the interception. Touchdown, Ohio State. That lead's a little more comfortable now as they close in on a victory here in week 3.
Dude, you didn't think it could get any worse, right? You thought this game's over as it is anyways. Offense still throwing the football, still trying to make plays, and the defense just continues to pour it on, gets the pick, makes its way all the way to the end zone.
They'll kick it off and send that defense right back out there to try to score again after the pick 6. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Down here for the offense. They'll run behind the big guys on the right.
Well, that last play is basically a microcosm of what today has been like for this offense. Just nothing happening. Not physical enough at the point of attack. They're being swarmed. They haven't had the balance necessary to win this game, and that's why they find themselves trailing late.
Push down for the tackle. Facing a 3rd down and short from the 26. Looking to throw. Gets it out fast. And boy, is he close to that 1st down, maybe just a couple of inches short. Running for it on 4th down. Just ran him over. That run epitomizes a veteran, savvy senior who knows how to find space. 2 minutes now left in this one, and time is running short if they want to find a way to pull this one out. Notre Dame ready to go with another 1st down. He's going to pass. Working that left side now. And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9.
This offense has their work cut out for them, man, because the coverage has been so tight. And if you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play and bleed the clock.
On 2nd down, he'll let it fly. He's taking a deep shot late in the game.
And this defense has put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football game.
He's moving out of the pocket. Fakes the grab. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a 1st down. This dude is just exceptional in every facet. So fluid, such a great route runner, and a big play there.
And money down, third down, find it. I mean, you want to find that matchup because he's going to win. And gets a good release, gets down the field. You see that's your playmaker, that's your guy. Get it to him, get the first down.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. We've seen a ton of this tonight. They just keep giving him the ball, and he keeps running into brick walls. Not much running room again. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. He's got his man, makes the grab. And he crosses the goal line and gets the touchdown, but way too little, way too late. But they still do count it for 6. And he tacks on the extra point. They march 79 yards on the drive. At this point, a comeback would take one of the biggest miracles in the history of the sport, but they'll line up for the onside kick. That's why they call them the hands team. They're able to secure the onside kick. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time when you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers in the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.
Puts him in the spinner and moves on. That run epitomizes a veteran, savvy senior who knows how to find space.
The clock is my friend. If I can do this late in the ball game with a lead and I can continue to run the football and they have no answers, well, then I'm going to walk away with a win. So, listen, I wouldn't change a thing.
Unleashes one deep. Throw into the end zone, and it's picked off. Trying to take it back. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
And that's such a great job of seeing the play, seeing it unfold, breaking on the football, making the interception, and you will absolutely never forget getting that first career INT, that big play, that big moment.
Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positive. Going over the top. What a spectacular grab there as they try to finish this game with a little something to feel good about. The offense uses a timeout, 20 ticks remaining.
And how about the big strike down the field? I love when offenses take shots down the field, try to make big plays. Now they're set up in the red zone.
The entire complexion of this possession changed on that one play. Now they've got it 1st and 10 inside the 20. Throws to the wideout. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down, 2nd down coming.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to like, but hopefully you can learn from it and do better next week.
Bust through behind his pad. Timeout is called and the clock is down to 8. And they'll stop him inside the 5, but the defense is backed up in the shadow of its own goalpost. Notre Dame has it now, 1st and goal. Here's the snap, looking to throw. And he's got it in the end zone for a touchdown. It won't matter much in the outcome, but a little extra stat padding is nice.
And this has been a rough day for this offense, and finally, some good things to happen. Build some momentum maybe for the future. You know, that's the way the coaches spin it when you're getting beat up and you're getting destroyed. Like, listen, let's find something for the future. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep working. This team's done that, put some points on the board, so it's not all bad.
They'd hoped to get that thing bouncing around, but the hands team is able to corral it.
And that's why you've got a lot of receivers on your hands team. Guys, the best hands on your team, so they're able to hop on that.
One more play to pad the stats. Going up top on 1st down. Quarterback extends the play. He's going to take off. And he will wisely scamper out of bounds. No need to take unnecessary hits. Well, this was an offensive showcase out there today. We thought it would be a high-scoring game, and it certainly delivered.
If you love offense, then you love this type of game. Both offenses going up and down the field, seemingly at will. Throwing the ball, running the ball. But, David, I feel like if you're a fan of defense, maybe this wasn't your cup of tea.
More defense optional. You didn't really get too much of that stuff, but, listen, you got to get a few stops late in the game. You got to get just kind of one stop with this many points that was being scored. You got the stop late. That's why you got the dub.
That's going to do it for us. For just